everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of John and Wendy Explain the World, our fun Friday show here on the Outlaw Nation channel. I'm one of your co-hosts. I am the Outlaw John Rocha, but I'm joined as always by this incredible ball of energy and one of my favorite people on the planet, Wendy Lee. How are you, Wendy?
I'm so good. I got some, so Dustin got an air fryer for his birthday, but I've been using it to make chicken nuggets. So it's going great.
Awesome. Yeah. I bought one of those Ninja Foodie grills a few weeks ago because I saw Adam Gertler doing a program on it. And I was like, just wanted to watch him as a host. And I got actually into what he was promoting. And I was like, oh, this looks cool. Then I happened to go to Costco and it was there. I'm like, all right, I'll buy it and see it. And she's been using it like crazy. So definitely.
What's the favorite thing you've cooked so far on that?
Well, I'm not an adventurous cook. So all I can do, I've had some great chicken, some great turkey burgers being made on there. She made a pizza last night out of that thing. So she's so smart about that kind of stuff. Like it's nothing to her. For me, I'd have to have all kinds of ingredients and a how-to on how to do it. But she's just a whiz at it. So shout out to her. So there you go. Food
Put that
galore.
on your social media. I want to see what she's cooking.
Yeah. Oh, that's not a bad idea. I should actually take some pictures.
Instead of Rocha says, it could be Rocha eats.
Yeah, that's right. Like our Maestro sausage trip once a long time ago. Which
I missed them. I haven't been.
That was such a good stuff. Well, listen, this is the second episode of our brand new show here on the Outlaw Nation. John and Wendy Explain the World. And basically, for those of you who might be new, we just kind of dive into a bunch of topics, the big entertainment news of the week. But we also talk about what's trending on social media, talk a little bit about some of the gossip or celebrity gossip that's going on, and then get into recommendations of stuff that we have seen or we are seeing soon, or that we have kind of taken a look at, and give you our thoughts on it, and also previewing some stuff that's coming out as well. So strap in. We're going to have a fun time today, certainly for over the next 90 minutes. Send in your Streamlabs and Super Chats if you want us to respond specifically as we go along. And we're covering everything. Look, BTS is up in this thing.
Yes.
We got a Burger King chicken
like
sandwich
butter.
in here. Everything is here. So we're going to cover it all for sure. So please send in any of your Streamlabs and Super Chats if anything you want to talk about. The address is right there in the middle, and I'm going to pin it to the chat in just a second. But Wendy, let's go to you first. What do we got here? MTV Movie Awards.
Yeah, so I know we skipped an episode last week. How do you feel, by the way?
I feel great. Absolutely great. I was down for 3 days, but I'm back up on my feet. And thank you for letting me take the week off, because
doesn't it feel like your anxiety, before we kind of dive into the topic, like melted away a little bit, just a little?
Oh yeah. Like I feel like I catch myself going into stores now without my mask on, and I'm like,
people are looking at you.
Exactly.
This is still a private establishment.
Put your mask on.
Put your mask on. No, I invested in so many cute masks that I'm like, what do I do once all this is done with? And then a friend of mine was like, you keep them for the winter so your face stays warm. I'm like, oh, brilliant. Brilliant idea.
Absolutely.
But look, because we missed last week, we missed talking about the MTV, not just MTV Movie Awards, because that's traditionally what they used to be, but now it's called MTV Movie/TV Awards. Apparently it was a 2-night event. I don't know. I only caught bits and pieces of the first night, but I do have to say, for both of us being huge superhero fans and Marvel fans, and avid watcher of these Marvel shows that we're getting, WandaVision won big. I think they snagged at least 4 awards. So I know for Elizabeth Olsen, she won Best Performance in a TV Show.
Yes.
And I'm actually surprised at this, but I don't hate it. I actually love it. Elizabeth Olsen and Kathryn Hahn wins for Best Fight.
Yeah.
And it was funny when they went up to accept their awards, because they actually went in person. They're like, because, MTV, the awards, it's formal, but it's non-formal as well. They want to let the celebrities have fun. You can kind of be off the wall a little bit. It's not the Oscars. Like, you can say whatever. I don't think they cut you off at a certain point. Well, not that the Oscars did that this year, but that's a whole nother topic that we can touch on. So they go on stage. They're like, thank you for voting for us for Best Fights. Let us show you what we did. And then they were just like, and that's what they did, which is funny, because if you take a look at Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it was like legit stunts heavy.
Yeah.
So, but I love that the ladies won. And speaking of our favorite villain, Catherine Hahn wins for her role as Agatha Harkness for Best Villain. So I was so happy about that. And then she actually got to march on stage to her own theme song, which is the Agatha All Along. And I was like, only Catherine Hahn can do this. And from Best Villain, we go to Best Hero. And that, of course, went to Captain America, Anthony Mackie. So happy for him. And without Anthony Mackie, or should I say, wherever there is Anthony Mackie, there sure is Sebastian Stan nearby. And those two won Best Duo. So Marvel kind of swept.
Yeah. They had a good time. Chadwick also won for Best Actor for his work for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and apparently got a standing ovation at this event as well. But I think it's great because, look, you know, people are walking away from these award shows. We've seen Wendy Golden Globes. We've seen the ratings for the Oscars, the Grammys, and what have you. And these are the shows that a little bit were kind of like, you know, made fun of or pushed aside. And now these are the shows that are probably doing better overall than the other shows because they don't take it too seriously. They have fun. You know, I think there was Best Kiss once upon a time at the MTV Movie Awards. You know,
they still have that this year, but I didn't watch. I didn't watch the show that won for, and I'm not aware of, unfortunately, the actor. So it didn't have as much of an impact on me. But the internet lost their mind over it.
Yeah, see, and you go all this stuff. So, you know, now these award shows, they don't take it so seriously, have a little fun with it. I think these are going to start becoming something that people want to watch because they can kind of relax and have fun with it and understand that no one takes it that seriously and it's a good time. But also the people who win the awards are actually very gracious. You know, Elizabeth and Catherine, I watched a little bit of the red carpet with them after they had won the awards. They both were standing there with the golden popcorns. And Catherine Hahn said, "This is a night that I won't forget. This is such a great night." So even if it's all for, you know, not as serious as the Oscars or the Golden Globes, there's still an appreciation from these actors that the fans voted for them and that they won some awards for the work they did there. And we'll see if the Emmys follow suit for WandaVision or for Captain and Winter Soldier. But this is fun. This is great. I'm happy.
Yeah. I love that. I love what Catherine Hahn said when she won for Best Villain. She's like, "Thank you for clicking on my name because the people voted, you know, just it's fan voting." So it's obviously, you know, unanimously they loved her character as Agatha. And she said, like, this was very nostalgic to her because she grew up watching MTV and the awards. And she probably never thought she, you know, like, you maybe dream of getting that Oscar, right? That's kind of like the ultimate thing. But also growing up, if you're growing up watching MTV and like the movie awards, you're kind of like, it wouldn't be cool one day to just get a golden popcorn? Because those award shows, you know, it is fun to watch. So I just appreciated her kind of saying that. I'm like, you know what? It is fun. Good for you, Catherine Hahn. You go on.
Good for you, girl. Well, and we'll see, and you know, we'll see as it goes down the road what ends up being the result of this. If you know, this leads to them down the road getting nominated for Emmys for their work on WandaVision. Certainly, Mandalorian was a nominee, so nothing's out of the realm of possibility for sure. And shout out to all of them for winning, and especially to Anthony Mackie, who is really reestablishing himself as a force in the world of entertainment. It's so great to see. All right, we got about 51 of y'all watching us live. Thank you so much for joining us here live. Please hit that like button as we go along. Remember, the Streamlabs and Super Chats are open. I'll be checking them periodically as we go along through the show. Please send in the Streamlabs over the Super Chats. Super Chats, YouTube is now taking about 50%. They used to take about 30. Now it's 50 from what I'm understanding from a number of people. So please send in the Streamlabs. That comes directly to us, and that's the better road. All right, let's move on to some Star Wars news here. Oh, wait. Some Star Wars news? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's Dave Filoni. This was burning up the internet over the last 24 hours. Lucasfilm last summer quietly promoted Dave Filoni to executive creative director for the entire studio. Lucasfilm, not Disney, Lucasfilm. And this was confirmed by Variety. But the company didn't update its website with Filoni's new title until this week. And that's what ended up kind of getting everybody to respond. There was a number of tweets. Even people like Ming-Na Wen tweeted out saying, "Hell yes, so happy for you. You deserve this." Katie Sackhoff also tweeted her excitement over Dave Filoni getting it. But a lot of stuff, you saw the YouTube people now stepping out and with their videos or writing their other people writing their articles saying, "Oh, is this the next step of Dave Filoni, you know, taking Kathleen Kennedy's job?" And of course, there's been a pushback to that, saying, Kathleen Kennedy gave him the promotion. And like caught up with this. Oh, Dave, let's hand Dave everything. And the truth is, Dave's a human being who takes these things one step at a time. Remember, he wasn't, he didn't start with George. George brought him in for an interview to see what he could do. And from that interview, he hired Dave, and Dave has slowly built up his resume, working on the Star Wars stuff. And now he's gotten to this position, and he's been doing it for a year. Maybe they did it quietly because they didn't want to tell too many people about it, put any pressure or fanfare on him. And now that he's in a really secure place with what he's doing, they decided to update the website. But Wendy, what do you think about all the hullabaloo around this? Do you think it's unnecessary, and is it a well-deserved promotion for Dave Filoni?
Oh, I certainly think so. I think Filoni has a great grasp on the Star Wars universe, the stories, the characters, their intentions, and where they want to go. He has had George Lucas almost as a mentor for all these years, working Clone Wars with him. And I think it's great that he comes from animation background too. And being a writer to start, and also first and foremost, most importantly, a fan who understands Star Wars. That's what you would want in a creative director in Lucasfilm. You don't want someone who's just like, oh yeah, I dabble in Star Wars, but I know about, creative directing. Like, that's great. But Star Wars, it's a little bit different. Like, you have to be really good at both.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people are. And I think Filoni has worked not just like saying like he was working his way to the top, like on purpose, like one day I'm going to be this at Lucasfilm. I think he's just a guy who enjoys Star Wars, enjoys telling these stories and these characters. And he just went on and on and on and on. And he was just hitting, walking the right paths. And I'm very excited about this. I love what him and not Feige, Favreau did with The Mandalorian. I'm looking forward to the Book of Boba Fett to see how that's going to pan out. We have, the Bad Batch that's happening right now. Recently, episode 4 just aired. So if you guys haven't watched it, please do. And I'm just curious to see now how things play out as far as movies and TV shows and animated shows go. And hopefully this title doesn't mean anything will change, right? Like, Filoni's vision is still going to be his vision. So that's what I wouldn't want to see, is like, now there's this title and like now things change. I don't think he's that type of person. I mean, I don't know. I've met him literally once and I said, hello, sir. Nice to meet you. That's how it happened. I'm just like, God, I'm such an idiot. Why? I don't even know. I don't even remember what I said. I felt like it was so humiliating. Like, telling me like, yeah, I would love to meet him. Hello, sir. Called him sir.
You just never know when the moment's going to pop up. So, you don't know if you're going to have the right words in that moment. So I get it. Trust me. I've been there.
I don't know why I got so I wasn't nervous until I went up there. I was like, oh God, I see the hat. I don't know. But I'm very happy for him. I think this is great. I don't think this is a sign that Kathleen Kennedy is going to be out.
Yeah.
I think the two jobs that they hold are very different.
Yes.
And I don't know if that spot was essentially maybe vacant for a while or not. But if it was, now it's filled. And I think it took time, right? I think when Disney purchased the Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't gonna, sure, it was established, but it's not gonna run smoothly overnight. I think they did it as best they could.
Right.
I think there's a little bit of like, not hiccups, little bumps here and there, right? A couple of little ones, but nothing that would make me as a fan go, ugh, I can't watch Star Wars ever again.
Right.
Like, it's nothing like that. So I'm really happy about this.
Yeah, I agree with you. And, and to accompany this announcement, part of this report said, they were talking about the Book of Boba Fett, as you mentioned, also the Ahsoka Tano show that's coming, Ahsoka with Rosario Dawson. But they said Rangers of the New Republic is not currently in active development. And it's also leading, Kathleen Kennedy said, all these spinoffs are leading to a storytelling event. So I think this is them grooving Filoni step by step. I know we in the fandom are like, let's just hand somebody the massive control of a studio. But the truth is, that's a daunting task. And Filoni strikes me, from the interviews I've seen with him and the conversations I've seen him have with other people, is a guy who's like very reserved. He's going to, kind of figure it out step by step. He's not in any rush to be in charge of everything. And I'm sure he has an ego to be successful. You have to have an ego, but he doesn't have this desire to be in charge of everything overall. That's not what I get when I watch Filoni in his interviews and conversations. But I do get that he loves Star Wars very, very deeply. And I think he understands, like, step by step, taking on more and more responsibility. And eventually, when he feels he's earned that spot, if there's an opening for him to assume Kathleen Kennedy's position way down the road, then it'll be a natural progression and organic progression of things for him. So I think people need to understand this is how employment works. This is how jobs work. It's step by step as they groom you and give you more responsibility. So it's all a positive. But are you worried about Rangers of the New Republic? Do you think that's a Gina Carano situation, that it's not active development right now because they're having to kind of retool this whole thing after a lot of the rumors said that Gina was going to be the lead?
Potentially, but a rumor is a rumor, right? I feel like we always have to treat a rumor as such until Disney and or Lucasfilm confirms it. So while we had our look, they didn't say no, it wasn't, but I think that one was so far off that they can take the time to do some more R&D and figure out, like, what story do we tell now? And who knows what characters are going to pop up in the Book of Boba Fett.
Right.
So we don't know. And potentially this could, I think for a long time, I've wanted to see different new characters in Star Wars. Not that I mind the Skywalker saga. I think they're great. But I think we've been there, done that for 9 movies.
Right.
And I think it's time. The universe is very, very big and broad. And there's even characters from, if you're thinking books or comics or other canon, that hasn't been brought into live action yet. We can do it that way. So, but I wouldn't mind them bringing in, different characters like they did with Fennec. Like, I think that's really cool. And I would actually like to see that a little more. So if that's the show, that's something that they decide to do, that's the angle for the show, then I'm here for it, but take all the time they need. Yeah. That's the thing, is you don't want to rush it because once it's out, you can't put it back and then trying to course correct when you have such a big fan base is going to be not impossible, but a bit daunting of a task. So I would rather them flush out what they're comfortable with now, such as Ahsoka, Obi-Wan. What else do they have coming? Andor. Andor. Yes. Acolyte, things like that. Yeah. Very excited to see. And I think for us, sometimes as fans, we're very greedy. We're just like more. And now instant gratification. I want it today. Right. But you got to let the creators and the storytellers take their time and tell the right story. So we don't later finally get it. We're not like, they rushed it.
Exactly.
It's always like that, right? It's like, I want it now. Oh, they rushed it.
8 episodes for season 8 of Game of Thrones. Why? Yeah, exactly. They rushed it. Exactly.
Yes. Not over it.
That's a great point. Yeah. So we'll see. And we wish, of course, both of us are big fans of Filoni, what he's doing there at Lucasfilm. So we wish him the best and hope the success continues, much to our benefit as much as to his, enjoying the stuff that he produces. Let's jump into some trailers here, Wendy. And please keep sending in your Streamlabs super chats. I know we got a couple of Streamlabs already. We'll get to them in just a second. But Wendy, we had a bunch of trailers come out this week. Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins came out near the beginning of the week. Then Dear Evan Hansen right afterwards. Then we had that Friends, the reunion 2-minute trailer teasing what is coming on HBO Max, this reunion that is being hosted by James Corden. And then we had the Aretha Franklin trailer, Respect, that stars Oscar-winning Jennifer Hudson. Which of these trailers stood out for you, or do you want to just give a general overall feeling about these trailers? What do you want to talk about?
I love them all, first of all. Okay. And I would say the one that stands out the most to me, it'd be really a cheat if I picked all of them. So I will say the one that got me the most emotional that I didn't think it would, I was not prepared, would be Dear Evan Hansen. Yeah. I hadn't seen the musical before, but I know some of the music. I don't know it like the back of my hand where I can just sing it. Right. But I know the story. And I know, the certain points. And even knowing that really didn't prepare me for the emotions I was going to feel watching this trailer. Yeah. Ben Platt, reprising his role as Evan Hansen. And I was just like, the man won a Tony for the role. So it's going to be really cool to see this in theaters. And I was worried a little bit, like sometimes Broadway does not transfer great to screenplay. Oftentimes I would prefer if they do it kind of what they I would prefer what they did to Hamilton is just take a few nights, shoot it on stage, because it's on stage for a reason.
Right.
You know, certain scenes and scene changes and blocking work for a reason. But I think with Dear Evan Hansen, I want to say the writer of the Broadway, like the book for Dear Evan Hansen, also adapted the screenplay.
Well, let's see. I think you might be right about that. Yeah.
So if that is the case, then I would be a little bit less worried about certain things not translating, though I already did notice that in the very beginning of the Dear Evan Hansen, it was like the tone was very serious and there was little bits and pockets of humor throughout the show to kind of lighten it up a little bit. But I didn't see that in the trailer, of course. The trailer kind of showed everything. That would be the only complaint I have on it, where it's like, yeah, I know the musical's been out, but like, what if people hadn't gone to see it?
Right.
You know, it's not like Hamilton where it's history. You kind of know what happens, you know, read a history book, you know, so that would be my only complaint. And then the other one, I would say Snake Eyes. It surprised me. It's super action packed. Had a chance to talk to Henry Golding on the, did like a little 5-minute junket sesh with him and the movie couple. So the interview is up on that channel if you want to take a look. And he kind of talked about, you know, the challenges of taking on this iconic character from the G.I. Joe franchise, which is a very well-known franchise, especially for us like older folk. And how do you play a character that's known for taking that vow of silence?
Right.
Like how do you do that? And I think we have to remember back, because there's a lot of comments on the trailers. It's like, oh, he shouldn't talk. It's kind of like, well, you're right. He shouldn't if this was a regular G.I. Joe movie, but we're establishing his origin. So has he always not spoken? Not the case. And Henry Golding kind of explained that a little more in the interview. So I think that was kind of really cool. Plus, if you're a Warrior fan, Andrew Koji's in this. He's playing Storm Shadow. That's all you need. Go see the movie when it comes out.
Yeah. I mean, I like that G.I. Joe trailer. I have some issues. Snake Eyes trailer. I have some issues with behind the scenes not having the best track record. They only showed a minute, but it was an exciting minute. So I agree with you on that. Dear Evan Hansen broke me. I've never seen or heard any of the songs. That trailer broke me. It is 3.5 minutes rather, and I couldn't believe emotion they packed into 3.5 minutes. What a cast! Amy Adams, of course, Ben Platt, but also Caitlin Dever, Julianne Moore. So many people involved in this. That's exciting. I can't wait to see it. And yeah, it is the same person who wrote the book for the play who is writing, who wrote the screenplay for this. So hopefully the adaptation is good. It's directed by the gentleman who did Perks of Being a Wallflower and Wonder, 2 films that I quietly enjoyed when I watched them. So I'm all on board for it. The other 2 trailers, respect. Aretha Franklin is incredibly difficult, and as great of a voice as Jennifer Hudson has, and she has that voice, she don't have Aretha's voice. And so there's the thing. It's like when I felt when I watched Elton, what was the one? Rocket Man. With Ansel, I forget his name now. Oh my God.
Taron Egerton.
Taron Egerton. That's
I got you.
Yeah, come on, get that schmodown going. Taron Egerton. It was his voice was fine, but it wasn't Elton's. And I think what we're going to see here is probably a powerhouse performance from Jennifer, but the music it'll be a great performance by her doing essentially remakes of these Aretha songs. But there's only one Aretha, ladies and gentlemen. That's not easy to imitate. So that's no fault on her for sure. And as far as the Friends thing goes, I'm not a Friends person. Respect that people love their show and love them. I like them all as actors. Definitely enjoy them all as actors. But I never was one of those people. I was more of a Seinfeld person. So, but I get it. I totally get it. And people, I mean, Roxy Stryer is in pieces over that trailer. So,
she loves Friends.
She loves it for
she does the Phoebe run.
That's right.
I've never seen her do it before. I'm like, the what? She's like, the Phoebe run. She like showed it. I was like, oh my God, spot on.
That's perfect.
She doesn't actually run like that, guys. Roxy doesn't actually run like that. Roxy runs like Roxy, but she can put on the Phoebe.
If she needs to, that's right.
If she needs to.
So all of that coming soon. So we're looking forward to those for sure. Let's hit some Streamlabs here real quick before we move on, Wendy. We got 3 of them that have come in. Askewed_1 says, I'm mainly an audio listener only, but here is some further support for this show and the channel. Oh, thanks, Askewed.
Oh, thank you.
Drunken Prayer says, maybe it's because I am not a person of color or a woman, but I appreciate people wanting more representation. Do you not think there's a point between more representation versus change for the sake of it/representation? What does that mean exactly?
In which context? Like movies?
But I appreciate people wanting more representation. Do you think there's a point between more representation versus change for the sake of it's a? So maybe saying maybe I think he's trying to say, is there a point where it becomes you changing things just to change things, or you're casting people just to cast? I've rarely ever seen that. If you can cite an example where they cast someone who was underqualified just because they were a woman or a person of color in a show in a big franchise just to prove a point, then maybe I can say there's a line. But I don't recall that's ever happened. Daisy Ridley was incredible in the trilogy, and we've enjoyed Anthony Mackie as Captain America and Falcon and Winter Soldier, haven't we? So I don't know if that's a thing. What do you think about that, Wendy?
Yeah, I would like a little bit more clarification on the question exactly. Sorry, my dog's shaking herself. But I kind of, to echo your thoughts, it's really, I don't think it's like a purposeful thing. Like, sure, they are conscious of it. I think you do want to maybe take that into consideration, but at the end of the day, it's the best person for the job.
Yeah. Right.
And that's kind of the short answer of it. That's what I think.
Yeah. And you know what we've had, and this is a relaxed, fun show. We've had decades of white people being cast in roles, white women, white men being cast in lead roles in a number of shows, TV shows, and movies. And some of them were underqualified to be cast in these things, but they were cast. So if people of color or women of color get cast, or women get cast in certain roles and they don't get the job done, maybe we should create a little space for that to happen sometimes, because we're trying to kind of balance things out again and move forward and be more inclusive. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so in the comments, I see, for example, people asking to change Dr. Doom or other characters.
Yeah. I'm fine with that. You mean making Dr. Doom female? I'm all about it. I'm all about it. I got no problem with that.
Yeah, look, if it works for the story, it works for the story, right? I think that's the whole thing. Though I will say I sometimes find myself go a little bit back and forth for the Ancient One in Doctor Strange.
Oh, yeah.
I love me a Tilda Swinton. I really do. But I also would have loved to see an Asian male in that role.
Yeah. And, Kevin Feige came out, Wendy, and yesterday, I think, and said they made a mistake by casting Tilda Swinton. He fully admitted it.
I'm not saying she did a bad job. I think she's fantastic. I am a fan.
Yeah, she's great in that.
Yeah.
But Feige said, we obviously thought we were approaching this. We didn't want to do a stereotypical Asian Ancient One. So that's why we thought it'd be smart to cast Tilda. But we realize now in retrospect that wasn't the right decision, and going forward. So it seems like they're not going to bring Tilda back to play that character. They're going.
Oh, really? Well, now I kind of feel bad that she's lost out on a job. I mean, she was already established. Why not just add another Ancient One then?
Yeah. True. Maybe
create the space, right? We're talking about creating. So she's established, so you keep her, and you bring on this other person.
Yeah, because I wonder if Terrence Slattery is going to show up in Shang-Chi because I want as the former Mandarin from Iron Man 3, I wonder if he's going to show up in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So we shall see.
God, I'm so excited for that movie. I can't wait.
Let's see here. And then Clarice Bell, sorry, I hope I'm saying that, or Clarice T. Bell says, feeling blessed today here in Panama City, Panama, enjoying my 45th birthday, watching The Outlaw and Wendy. Happy birthday.
Regards. Thank you. Happy birthday.
Feliz cumpleaños, hombre. Feliz.
Hey. Love that.
D-Train real quick says, I believe next week is the unofficial start of the summer movie season with A Quiet Place Part 2 and Cruella opening. And then a couple of weeks after, it is In the Heights. All three are getting outstanding reviews. Movies are back. Yeah, I can only speak about any. Can we speak about? I guess we can't speak about any of those yet, but I can say that I enjoyed Cruella. I saw it today, and we'll talk about it a little bit later. I saw
I'm
Quiet
obsessed.
Place. I haven't seen A Quiet Place Part 2, but I'm going to a screening on Monday night. And then what's the other one that he mentioned? Oh, sorry.
Army of the Dead is now out on Netflix.
That's true.
And was in theaters last week. And then that's it, huh?
In the Heights reviews have dropped today.
Oh, but you've seen it.
I've seen it, and I loved it.
I can't wait.
Loved
I
it.
freaking can't wait. I'm glad it's coming to HBO Max, honestly, because I think involuntarily sing out loud in the theater. Like I don't think I'd be able to help it.
Right on, because
I love that musical. I don't know again back of my hand, but I would just definitely like just random notes. I'd be like, I know that word. Yell it.
All right. Well, keep sending in your Streamlabs super chats, ladies and gentlemen. We'd love reading them. And let's move on with the rest of the show here. Wendy, we got some Demi Lovato and Belly Porter news, right?
Yes, we do. Demi Lovato came out on their social media and announced that they identify as non-binary and now will be using they, them pronouns and essentially joining other celebrities such as Jonathan Van Ness. JVN, yes, as non-binary. So I think for them, that's a big step to, even though I feel like it's definitely more acceptable these days, I think it is still really scary to take that step and come out and say that. So I just want to say I congratulate them. I think that's a huge step. And I also did notice, because I remember seeing that tweet from their account.
Yes.
That morning, and then all the terrible comments that followed.
Yeah.
And that really, I was just like, this is why people hide their identity is because instead of just like asking questions on, can you educate me a little bit more on the term non-binary or whatever it just goes to straight attack. Like, no, it's male or female. And it's kind of like, well, not for them, obviously.
Right.
And it's important to them. So maybe you want to do the thing where if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all and just let them live their lives. So I'm happy for them. Good for them.
I agree. I mean, let's remember they're 28 years old. We all are on our journey in our lives. How many of us had it all figured out, knew who we were in our 20s? So many of us are still on our journey to figure out who we are and what we believe and what we stand for and what our experiences are like. And more people need to create a little bit of space, a little bit of grace to let these celebrities who were thrust into stardom very early in life kind of navigate the world as they see fit. I saw a guy, I saw that radio DJ from Boston walk off the show because he can't talk about because he didn't like that this announcement was made. Why the F are you caring about this person's decision that they're doing, how they identify themselves?
Right. Literally does not affect how you live.
Yeah, it doesn't affect
literally does not.
It's like all these people who lost their jobs off Meghan Markle. I'm like, why do you care what she's doing? She won. You lost your job because you shut your mouth off about something, and she just goes on with her life, bro. And ma'am, and Piers Morgan also came out and said some unsavory things about Demi Lovato and this
Not
decision.
surprised.
And it's just unfortunate because you see this kind of hatred building towards this kind of thing instead of more of an understanding. Like, okay, great.
Yeah. Happy for you.
Exactly. This how they identify.
Or keep scrolling.
Right. The world
if you don't like it, you don't have to like it. Here's the thing, right? You don't have to like it. We're talking about freedom. If you want to give somebody freedom to identify as he, she, they, them, whatever they want, fine. You don't have to like it, but why are you going out of your way to be like, I hate blah, blah, blah. Right. Like, just save yourself, save your thumbs, and just scroll. Just go past it. Does not affect how you live your life or the air you breathe. You're still going to breathe the same air you did before. And I think, especially for celebrities, actors, musicians, they're under such a microscope all the time that people are like, oh, they come out like they're this age and now they're like figuring out. It's like, well, yes. Yes. Have you thought like maybe they don't have much of a private life and they can't do this, or they feel pressured to hide it because they need to fit XYZ image? Like, that's really unfair to them. You know, it's like, we should just be happy that they are brave enough to share this with the whole world, because, you know, they're going to get judged, right? I think they know that, yes, there's going to be a lot of warm responses, welcoming responses, but there's also going to be people like the comments that we saw that are just going to be like, boo you, blah, blah. So I'm just proud of them. I'm happy for them. You go on, keep being you.
Exactly.
And keep making those songs.
Yeah, and keep making songs, because Sorry Not Sorry is one of my damn favorite songs of the last 10 years, for sure. Yeah. What have you, and what have we got? So we wish them the best for sure as they keep going on their journey of their own life, figuring out who they are and where they belong. And you know what, people, if 5 years down the road or 4 years down the road, they change that designation, it's their life. They're allowed to change the designation, just as you're allowed to change your designation if you want to in your life. So, you know, create some more space, some more grace in this situation for sure. And then what have we got for Billy Porter? What's this is also a bit of sad, but also powerful news. Good news,
Billy Porter has revealed that he's been HIV positive for years. If you don't know Billy Porter, I suggest you pause this video, or actually, no, don't pause us because we're cool. But add pose to your watch list and watch ASAP. You will love Billy Porter. So he recently did a whole interview, and I don't remember who it was with. Oh, Hollywood Reporter revealed that he was first diagnosed over 14 years ago. I want to say, and that he's recently he's been living kind of with like the shame. I mean, again, like feeling like he had to hide it, to keep it silent. And so finally he's like, you know what, this is one of the things that I really love that he said is, I am the healthiest I've ever felt in my life. It is time, you know, your body is healthy, your mind should be too, be free. And talk about this. Stop letting this be a stigma, right? Because I think we lived with that for so, like, was in like the 80s, like HIV meant certain things, like, oh my gosh, you know, and now there's a lot of medical advancements that can help you if you are HIV positive. And I think he is surviving this, he is living with it, and he is being incredibly brave. It must be freeing too, to just finally go, here it is. Like, what a load off of your shoulders. Carrying that with you for 14 years. Yeah,
you're 1,000% right, Wendy. And this is a great, and the reason I said powerful and good, because not because the diagnosis obviously 14 years ago, that's obviously probably a terrible, heartbreaking diagnosis to receive, but what he's done with it. Now, he spoke about this at the time when all of that was happening, when he got diagnosed. I think he was suffering with diabetes. He had lost his job. He didn't have much money, or hardly any money. So he was in a really bad place, and he got this diagnosis. Now, a lot of people might just slip into a deep depression and never come out of it, or constantly live a small life. He fought out of it to embrace who he is, to go forward with his life, to let his light shine bright. Look at what it has led to. He won an Emmy in 2019 for Pose. My girlfriend is in the middle of the second season. She can't stop talking about she loves that show, and she's looking forward to season 3 that's coming. And so this is an example for anybody who's watching or listening, or anybody who's reading the story of Billy Porter. Like, just because you get a heartbreaking diagnosis or you have tough moments in your life does not mean that you can't fight your way through it if you want to fight your way through it, and even shine brighter than you ever did before as a result of the strength you acquired by fighting through this struggle and this battle. So I think that's overall a positive message, and he has lived with it for 14 years. It also shows that you can live with this disease and still be successful in what you do, still be someone who's leaving a legacy or a footprint on the world, and that's a positive, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so we send him the best as well. And let's move on to our next story. Wendy, We got some chicken sandwiches to talk about. Hello.
Oh gosh, I remember back in the Collider days, Dory and I used to drive to Popeyes to try to find the chicken sandwich. I remember being at TIFF and I was like, wait, they have Popeyes here. I got to go and see they have chicken sandwiches. They were also out in freaking Canada. Like the hype was real. I never got one. Dorian actually came back with one.
Oh, wow.
And I asked him for a bite. Like, can I please? And I was like, it can't be that good. I took the bite, my eyes popped open. I'm like, it is that good. So I guess we're still, even though it's, like kind of 2 years ago's news, we're still doing the chicken sandwich thing. So the battle of the chicken sandwiches continue. Burger King is now releasing this chicken sandwich. It's called, the spelling is really interesting. Chiking sandwich. Chiking. So it's CH''King sandwich. It's debuting on June 3rd. Finally coming to Burger King. I don't know, John, what took them so long.
They
had the whole. I mean, maybe the supply chain was a little bit, low during the pandemic, but I thought they would have hopped right on this during the hype of chicken sandwiches when everybody and their mother were doing chicken sandwiches.
Right.
Like there was even like Popeyes had the whole, like, you can build your own. Like, well, we'll put it in a box for you. We just don't have this. But what's different about this one? I guess they might kick back up that chicken sandwich hype again. Is this one? There's different versions. Just like I think some of the other chicken sandwiches have other versions. They are going to have, let me see here. They have a regular, they have a spicy, or they have a deluxe. I'm guessing the deluxe probably comes with like lettuce, tomato, pickles.
Yeah, let's take a look at that one.
Extra stuff. But what?
Look
is that the one that we're looking at?
Yeah, that's the deluxe. That's there with the cheese and the pickles. And our producer Sean Barreto just passed out from the.
I want that right now. Chicken nuggets, who?
Looks fantastic, my lord. Come on, let's get it on.
So good. What's different about this one? It's not going to be the supposedly the chicken is going to be hand battered in store.
Ooh, okay.
So it's not arriving like all, in like a plastic bag and then you drop it in the fryer. Like they're going to actually dip it into the batter. And then so it's going to be pretty fresh, which sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And the price range for this between $3.99 to $4.99, depending on the region. So I'm excited. I definitely want to go and try it out. Dustin still hasn't tried the Popeyes chicken sandwich. And I'm like, God, you gotta. Like, I don't know what were we doing during the pandemic here? Not eating chicken sandwiches.
Oh yeah, well I'm excited. It looks fantastic. Look, I'll still occasionally get a fast food meal. Why not? And this looks great. Of course, that's all good photography to make it look as big and perspective and all of that. But it's still something to be excited. I'm a Chick-fil-A man. I do like the Chick-fil-A stuff. I love the Popeye sandwich as well. I love me a fried chicken. There's what else did I went to a place here in San Diego that other people recommended to me. I can't remember the name of the place now. And that chicken sandwich was extraordinary.
I'm trying to think of any San Diego foodie places I would know, but I'm not there enough.
Is it Rallies or something like that? I can't remember what it was, but it's a fried chicken place, and they have chicken tenders and they have sandwiches. The menu is like 4 things. That's it. And I went there, and they have Texas toast. So I went there and got the sandwich, and I was blown away by that sandwich. So incredible stuff for sure. But I think maybe Burger King was like, let's let the hype go there. Then we're going to pull it back, wait a little bit, and then we're going to drop ours. Because you're right, it's going to take. It takes, they say, an average of 5 minutes to make the sandwich. It's not like a Whopper, which takes about 2 to 3 minutes, and they're charging anyway. I think $3.99 to $4.99 for the sandwich. So it's certainly thing to get, and people are going to want to taste it, and it's going to sell out all the time, but it's also going to require a lot of time to make if each one of these takes 5 minutes. Wendy,
yeah, I can see the drive-through line of cars. Just it starts to look like In-N-Out.
That's for sure.
Have you, before you left LA, did you go to a Roscoe's chicken and waffle?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. Because I don't know if they have them in down there. I don't know how wide the chain is spread throughout the nation.
There's nothing down here.
Oh,
but this is the one I went to, Raising Cane's. Holy, if you haven't done Raising Cane's, find it and go get it. It is excellent. 10 minutes from my house. I may go get it for dinner tonight when we're done here. We shall see.
Real
Yeah.
quick,
Yes.
before we move on to the next topic, because I saw what MK wrote in the comments, and it's about chicken sandwich. So I just want to pop this up real quick since we're on that topic. So Avengers Campus, and I know that's a topic for later on today's shows, but there's an $100 sandwich.
What?
That's going to be offered at Avengers Campus.
What?
Supposedly. So hold on. I have the blog right here. This is going to be offered at the Pim's Test Kitchen. And it's $100. So I'm trying to see if I can find it on their menu. Okay, $100 sandwich. The quantum size Pim Ninny sandwich costs a whopping $99.99, but the description does specify that it serves 6 to 8 guests. So it's roughly 15, 17 a person, which is, I guess, if you can split it with somebody, that would be reasonable. But I guess that's what they're doing. Wow.
What's in the sandwich? Does it say?
It's a panini.
Okay.
I see it looks like what is that? Like ham or turkey that's pressed together. I'm going to look at their panini and see. Okay. Quantum size, salami, rosemary ham, provolone, sun-dried tomato spread on toasted focaccia, served with marinara dipping sauce and arugula salad. Serves 6 to 8 guests.
Oh my!
$99.99. I guess that's the one thing I won't be getting. You can get it by itself, like a smaller portion of it, for just under $15.
Okay.
Wow.
I think I'll do that.
Yeah, I don't think I need it. I think it would just be fun for like photograph, but you got to make sure you're going with people. Either you can put it away, or you got to bring some to-go boxes.
Absolutely. Well, let's move on. Food here, Wendy. Avengers Campus. Speaking of which, there's some web slinger power brands. This is your territory here. Your
power bands.
Talk to me about what is all of this. Talk to us about what is going on here.
So Avengers Campus opens up, I believe, June 3rd or June 4th, which is very, very soon. Dustin and I are going June 8th. So I will report back and let you know about our time there. But these web slinger power bands are essentially, they're literally like web slingers. You put them on your wrist and you can like that, like Spider-Man.
Right.
So this is supposed to kind of help enhance your ride experience at the Spider-Man ride that they're calling the web slinger ride. So without the power-up bands, you can still ride. This is not a requirement. This is an upgrade to enhance your experience if you want. But essentially, I haven't gone on the ride, so I don't know. This is all just based off some research. But you're going on the ride where it makes you feel like Spider-Man. Tom Holland went on it, and he said, "I play Spider-Man, and I felt more like Spider-Man during this ride than I ever did."
Wow.
Which is to say something, because the man literally is in the suit going, So I think you can make motions because it's AR and some sort of sensor stuff with your body. You sit in the ride and then you go through maybe something like a Transformers type of deal, like the Transformers ride in Universal Studios Hollywood.
Right.
But your hand motion allows you to throw webs at I think you're catching the spider bots.
Wow.
That are escaping the lab. Now these power-up bands, there's 4 of them, and it allows you to sling 3 times more webs on the ride than you would typically get. So it really would enhance your experience on the ride.
I'm going to put this up while you talk about it. Right there. There's the bands.
Yeah. So they have 4. The 2 that you see. So the one on the right with the blue, I believe that's Rescue.
Okay.
As in like Gwyneth Paltrow Rescue.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The one on the left there, that looks like Spider Ghost Spider, something like that. So they have 4. So they have 2 under the Iron Man brand. So Rescue and Iron Man repulsor type of deal, and then the other ones are more true spider slinger type, like Ghost Spider, and then I believe one for Peter Parker, or maybe it was Miles Morales. I can't remember which one it was.
Wow.
I'm gonna say Peter Parker just to play it safe. And then below, do you guys see the little spider bots?
Yeah.
So those are the ones that you can upgrade as well. They don't help you on the ride. They're just super cute, and you can battle them. They actually shoot like infrared laser at the other ones. We have one. We were gifted one by our wonderful fan, Chris Mendez, sent us over one for the holidays. So we're overdue for like an in-person spider battle now that everybody's been vaccinated. And once they self-destruct, the top pops off. Like that's like your spider defeats and it's like, wow, and it powers down.
That's awesome.
Hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah. Very exciting.
Great. That looks great. We're around the corner of that opening.
Yeah. I do have a question to pose to you.
Yes.
Because us being theme park buddies, so these power-ups, obviously they're going to cost money. I can't find the price anywhere. Yeah. I've heard rumors that they start at the base of either 25 or 35. Okay. And then, which is okay because a Harry Potter wand is about 50. The interactive ones. Which also enhances your theme park experience. That's right. And then with the upgrade, like I think the Iron Man and the Rescue one, again, I'm not sure because the price isn't written anywhere, but I want to say those are the ones that have a little bit of a like additional upgrade, more money. So either way, you're paying extra money to get these, right? Right. Do you think that because these aren't required for you to, go on the ride, they just enhance your experience. Do you think this could potentially start a kind of a trend of theme parks doing upcharge items such as these to make experiences better? And how guests may feel about that?
Yeah, 1,000%. I think when they started doing the 3D rides, that's to enhance people enjoying it, right? Then they opened the Star Wars Land. I think when they opened Star Wars Land, they saw how many people were willing to pay upcharges for certain perks, certain experiences, certain looks, all of that, and they saw the numbers of people. I think they went into overdrive in those planning sessions, and were like, okay, what can we offer here for this? That was all part of the installment of this, part of the construction of this, in my opinion. That they sat down like, okay, we'll do this, we'll charge this much. And they probably did focus groups, they probably did testing. I'm sure they asked a bunch of people, probably like pulled some fans, like, what's the most you'd be willing to pay for this experience? And then from there, probably, kind of gauged what worked best for them and then put that out there. So I think, you and I both being theme park, we know the implementation of stuff may not be the best, but the idea of them coming, especially with Disney, there's a lot of thought that goes on before they put anything out. So I imagine they sensed, or they had some independent studies that let them know that they could get away with this and people will pay for it and it'll be a profitable situation for them. That's what I
agree with that.
Yeah,
I think so. I just hope that these power-up bands, like, they look really cool, but they're not just like for one ride. Like, I hope you can walk around Avengers campus and activate it somewhere else as well. I'm pretty sure they haven't released too much information, so I'm pretty sure that's on the menu, but again, we won't know until they tell us.
That's for sure. Let's go into one Streamlab here before we move on to the next section of the show here. I know we got about 35 minutes left in the show. Barito. Oh, thank you, Sean. He says, wanted to know what Wendy's thoughts are on Castlevania Season 4 on Netflix and the news that we're going to get a new Dragon Ball Super movie next year. John, you really have to start watching Dragon Ball. You can start doing that on your channel.
Oh, my God. Have you watched any?
No, I've never watched any of the Dragon Ball stuff or the Castlevania stuff.
Oh, wow. Oh, wait. Nuh-uh.
Yeah, I've never watched Castlevania.
Have you played the games?
No, never played the games.
Oh, Rocha, no.
I think I've hurt Wendy.
What's happening?
I've mortally hurt Wendy.
It hurts. Sean, I'm sorry. I haven't watched Castlevania Season 4 because we actually clicked on episode 1, Dustin and I, and we're like, wait, what's happened? So we realized that we have to go back to season 3 and watch the final 2 episodes. The same thing happened to The Magicians. Because I popped up the new episode, the new season. I was like, I'm so ready. And I was like, I don't remember any of this. Yeah. What's happening? And it's such a dense show. There's so much happening. That same thing with Castlevania. I think I just need to devote like a couple hours just to watch the previous season, like the last couple of episodes, and then go into season 4. But I'm hearing great things. The show is rated Ma for mature, so if you're not okay with graphic violence, and it does get it's like Invincible bad. So if you're not okay with it, I would just like kind of know that going in. But it's so good. The animation is fantastic. The story, the voice acting is phenomenal. Like, John, you would really enjoy it. It's very interesting. Okay. Like the story of the Belmont family, you will like they'll suck you in, and you're like, "What's this lore? I love it," and then you'll never leave.
Trying to convince me and other members of the Outlaw Nation trying to convince me to watch it, and they said it's the most mature animated stuff that you're going to watch, probably this side of Invincible.
Yep.
So, and there was an article I was reading today about how great Castlevania season 4 is. Just started reading a couple of paragraphs. Didn't want to get anything ruined, but just got the idea of like, this is the kind of thing that I might be into. So who knows? I may start doing some reviews of Castlevania, putting it up on the channel just for fun to see if anybody enjoys it. We shall see.
Why don't you do a watch party on your Twitch channel with your 2,000 followers?
200.
Oh, no. I thought it was 2,000.
Is it 2,000?
Whatever. It's 2,000 in my mind.
I don't know. Sean doesn't know either, for God's sake.
You can do a watch party on there.
Let's do it. And thanks to Bleeding Green and Michelle O'Rourke, who have both subscribed to the channel here while we've been doing the show. Thank you very much for coming aboard. Please, any of you who haven't subscribed to the channel, you're enjoying this content, feel free to subscribe. If you're enjoying this kind of content, I'm telling you now, the channel is starting to shift to have more of this kind of content on the channel, and look for some changes being announced very, very soon for sure. Yeah, Justin Toner.
Ooh, exciting.
Watch Castlevania, John. All right.
Watch it. Watch it now.
All right, let's move on. This is our trending section, stuff that's going on in social media. We'll move through this pretty quickly because we want to get to some coming soon news and stuff we recommend for y'all going in to the weekend. When do you want to take us on the first one? I'll grab the second one, please. What's the first one here with Ariana Grande?
Ariana Grande marries Dalton Gomez, and she had a small, intimate wedding ceremony, and it was just kind of out of nowhere. Boom, they're married. Honestly, I mean, I don't follow celebrity gossip or love life super closely, but I am kind of surprised that I missed the fact that they were even engaged. Funny story, because remember the last person she was engaged to, I am forgetting his name, Pete
from Pete Davidson. Yeah.
Yes. So on the day of their super kind of out of the blue engagement, they were at Disneyland that day, and I was there the same day getting on the Space Mountain ride as they were coming off the car.
Oh, wow.
Like I saw her.
Right.
She was not that far away, and she just sees her car pulls up, and I'm sitting here wondering why all the paparazzos, I mean, you know, those like big lens, like white lens, like this big. And then when they click, it goes pop like that. Like the shutter makes a sound. I'm like, why are all these freaking paparazzis here? Like all over the Disney personnel's like trying to like usher them out. Like what is happening? And poor Ariana and Pete comes out of the ride, and she just looks up and she's all the cameras pointing down at her, and she just sank as low as possible to her seat and kind of did this with her hair. I felt so bad for her, but that was the last time I remember her even being engaged.
Right.
And now she is married. You know what? I think, again, we're talking about celebrities such as, actors, musicians living under a microscope. The fact that I missed that she was even engaged, and I'm happy that, they got married. This is what they wanted to do. And they had a small and intimate wedding, friends and family. That's it. No big anything. Also, we're also in the middle of a pandemic. So I guess that's another reason why she didn't do like a big wedding, but I'm really happy for her. That this happened, and she seems really in all of the photos. Love is in the air, Rocha.
Yeah, you can sense it. People are coming out of this pandemic because apparently they got together a little bit before the pandemic and then kind of moved in together during the pandemic, and nothing's going to test a relationship more than moving in together with somebody during a situation like this. With Demi Lovato, she also met somebody, or they also met somebody before they got into before they went quarantined, and that person moved in. It didn't work out for them, but it has worked out certainly for Ariana Grande here in Dalton Gomez. And she's 27, he's 25. He's a real estate guy. He doesn't like to put a lot of attention.
What does she get to be? What, she's 27?
27, yeah, she's 27.
So I feel so old. Well, I remember her on, was a Big Time Rush, was it? Victorious? Whatever Disney show. Oh my God.
She's 27.
Wow. Holy
She's
crap.
gonna be 30 very soon.
She was a baby when I first, I was much younger too. So I guess I was a baby. So baby. But this is a positive overall for them to be moving forward. And we'll see what happens. He's a person who doesn't seem to be wanting the limelight. So I think that's always a positive with the celebrities. Like,
you want to have one person who doesn't want to also make it all about themselves as well. And she doesn't, I mean, she has 296 million followers.
My
That
God.
blew my mind when I saw that. 296 million followers. I was like going insane looking at that.
Zero privacy.
Yeah.
That's what I think. You have no privacy.
As you saw, she jumped out, put the hair over, tried to cover.
I felt so bad for her. I was like, let her be. And people were yelling like, congratulations. And she didn't want to be mean. I mean, she's not a mean person. I met her like once, very briefly, very sweet. She was like, no, thank you. You know, in her like little airy voice, thank you. And then like runs off. I'm like, oh, poor thing. I guess she's going home now. The paparazzos, they know she's here in the park.
All right, we'll move on to another one, and that is J-Lo and Ben Affleck. This is actually happening. Now, I had my doubts, but this seems to be, from all the reports we're getting, they're getting together here, and it is burning up the internet. That is trending. People are loving Bennifer 2.0. They're all about it, and who knows? I mean, remember, they were very close to getting married. I think it was like a few days before they were about to get married. They ended up calling the whole thing off, then ended up breaking up. And J-Lo has said on numerous interviews that losing Ben Affleck was her biggest heartbreak, real heartbreak that she ever experienced. And of course, this comes on the heels of her almost marrying Alex Rodriguez, that breaking up over a lot of allegations of possible cheating by A-Rod. No surprise, A-Rod loves to cheat. On the field and off the field, A-Rod loves to cheat.
No.
So no surprise to me. But now this situation, I mean, and you have Ben, coming out of that weird relationship with Ana de Armas. We all knew that wasn't going to last. She's too young for him. So maybe these two have kind of been through their war since they broke up, and they're in different places. And they're coming together, and hopefully it leads to a positive relationship for both of them if they get into it again. And it seems like it's going down that path, because I've kind of grown to really care about Ben Affleck as a person and be invested in his struggles with his substance abuse stuff. And of course, I'm sure he cheated on Jennifer Garner, or there have been allegations rather, and that's not a good thing. But he's also a human being, and he's provided so much entertainment both in front of and behind the camera that I just kind of want him to kind of be in a better place. And if you've seen The Way Back, that's a great window into what he was probably experiencing on a daily basis as he struggled with his alcohol addiction. So I'm just saying, I hope it works out for both of them, because Jennifer's unlucky in love a lot of the time, man. So I hope we kind of figure it out.
Yeah, I was surprised that when I saw this news, I was like, wait, wasn't she with A-Rod? They were like married, were they not, or engaged? And I guess that's not a thing anymore. I was like, that's how I found out. I was like, wait, wasn't she married? Like they would do TikToks together. What is this? Yeah. So, but you know what? I think also another one of the reasons that Bennifer didn't really go through with their marriage was also, I think, the media frenzy of it all.
Yeah.
Like they weren't ever left alone. I just hope that this time, maybe, now media's calmed down a little bit.
Yeah.
Let the couple do their thing or not do their thing. We don't know. We're not there. Yeah. And then I also just kind of low key hope we don't get another, what's that movie?
Geely.
Don't need another one of those.
Someone read your mind. I think they put it up here. It says Blade GTR says, do you think it's really like Geely? God, I hope not. They'll
call it something different.
Yeah. Geely.
I don't know what, but I do miss those Jennifer Lopez, what was it? The Wedding Planner.
Oh yeah.
That was a fun one. Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. The Wedding Planner.
Yeah. That was a fun one.
All right, and let's move on to some quick notes for all of you. We won't spend too much time on this, but here are 5 things that are happening for your social media in case you're not aware of. Some of you are kind of social media gurus here. Social media, apparently on Instagram now, there are new caption stickers on these stories. Wendy, Instagram now provides auto captions for videos on the stories. It won't be 100% accurate, so you got to check on that. But the good news is that you can edit the text, color, position, and font to suit your brand. If you don't see it on that means it's coming soon to your area. But that's one of the ones that they were announced here. Also, TikTok is moving into e-commerce. They're testing e-commerce features so you can monetize your business more and more on TikTok. So if you're a TikTok or you're a burgeoning TikTok person, that's something to be on top of. LinkedIn is also kind of looking at effective ad targeting. So they've created an infographic to guide you through targeting opportunities on the social platform, like company. You can choose criteria like company and industry, job function, seniority, all of that. And then Clubhouse, some of you are on Clubhouse.
Oh my gosh.
They have launched an Android version of Clubhouse. It's still in beta, but it's on the way. So they are like working it out. And Clubhouse released a statement saying we will begin gradually with the US today, followed by other English-speaking countries, and then the rest of the world. So that's another thing for Clubhouse. I'm a stereo person, but maybe I should move over to Clubhouse. And people
you have it, right? You have the account.
I have stereo, not Clubhouse. So
what you need an invite? I'm pretty. I saw that I invited you
to Clubhouse. Oh, maybe, let's take a look at that. Maybe I will.
I think I did. Possibly.
Okay.
But if not, let me know. I'll drop you an invite.
Will do. And one last thing, the Facebook has added new messaging features for them. You can add a special theme and background to your face to freshen up your experience. You can also reply to DMs with photos or videos now. And Messenger gives you now the option to swipe to archive your stuff. And there is a new tap to record audio feature. So it's like on the iPhone where you can record your message and leave them there. So all positive things, I think, Wendy, if you're a social media person, don't you think?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's coming out. I think the one that stands out for me, probably that Instagram new caption one is really funny because I feel like they ripped that right out of the TikTok platform. TikTok's had it for a long time, but Instagram, also took stories from Snapchat. That was a Snapchat thing. They took that, called it stories. And then, Twitter followed suit with whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called, but Lens. Yeah. Nope, something else. But I don't really use it. I used it a little bit in the beginning. I was like, no.
You mean the
thing? Yes. Nah, don't use that. Yeah. And then Instagram took something else and then something else from something else. It's a lot of borrow, all the same kind of things. So,
yeah.
But I will say TikTok had it first. Not that I'm like pro TikTok or like team whatever. Like I'm just saying that in case you were if you thought Instagram originated it, they didn't.
Yeah.
TikTok's had it for a while. Happy that Clubhouse is finally on Android. I know it was very just iOS exclusive for a long time. So I'm happy for anybody who's been dying to get Clubhouse on their phone. You can now have Android. I feel bad because I think my agent was like, "Oh, I bought an iPhone so I can get Clubhouse." I'm like, "No." But no, she enjoys it. She enjoys it very much.
No.
So no. How do you feel about the super follow on Twitter?
Yeah, what is that? Is that where they can actually do tips and what have you and all of that?
I think so. I am not. Yeah, it's like a super follow. So creators on this platform will monetize their presence by providing exclusive content to users who super follow their profile. And then the super followers will receive a list of perks such as supporter badge, access to exclusive content, deals, discounts. So great for e-commerce. If they want to sign up $1.99 or something like that for early access to deals. Other things, signing up to tip their creators at $4.99 a month.
Yeah.
So I guess, that's a way for, I guess if you're mainly only creating content on Twitter and things like that, and you want, some more exclusive things for your followers, and maybe that's the way to go. It's really not for me personally. I wouldn't use it. But I'm not going to be mad if somebody else decides to use it, because it's not like we have to follow it. I just worry that all the companies decide that they're going to exclude other people and just only provide content for those who are subscribed monthly. Yeah. That's what I kind of worry a bit about, but I don't think we're going to get to that point.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. Revenue streams are revenue streams. I'm never going to say no to a revenue stream, and apparently with YouTube, you can get people can have a subscription level type stuff where they're giving you money to your YouTube channel. And then you are giving them certain perks through YouTube. You have it in Patreon, you have it. So to me, I'm like, well, if there's a revenue stream and you're a Twitter only person and you want to essentially create content on Twitter and people are willing to pay the money to have access to whatever you're creating, knock yourself out. I know our friend Jeff Snyder has created a separate blog that people have to subscribe to to get his personal thoughts about things. And so I don't fault anybody trying to, kind of find a way to make a little extra money on the side from people who actually value what they're bringing to the table and want to pay them for their content or their insight. So never going to say no to that for sure. So, and like Wendy said, you don't begrudge anybody kind of doing this thing.
Yeah.
Let's jump a couple of those stories, Wendy. Let's get to the big one here. BTS, please take it away. BTS.
They dropped their new single, Rocha. They dropped their new single. It is called Butter, and damn, their voices are smooth and their skin smooth like butter. It's an all-English song, just like Dynamite, which I was kind of surprised by because I just thought they would mix in maybe like half-half, or like 60-40 or something like that. Not mad at it, especially since I just kind of shows how versatile they are in their talent. And like I feel like all of their like English rapping, singing gets better and better and better because I think the only fluent English speaker in the group is their leader, RM, and he taught himself how to speak English by watching episodes of Friends. That's how he learned. He said it in an interview. He must be like, I'm watching that for sure. No, the visuals for K-pop in general, without naming groups here, are always like really epic, really well thought out. Their live performance stages always look phenomenal. And this single for Butter is no exception. I love the song. I think I replayed it, 4 times after the premiere. I was just like, and again, and again, and again, and again. And I don't have a bias. If anybody wants to know if I have like a favorite member of the group, I really don't because it switches all the time. Right. So I like to say that I enjoy each member of the group because without them, they wouldn't be BTS if you just took one person out of the group. Yeah. So this is huge for them. Another single, like I'm just not surprised that it's a hit, but I always appreciate how these guys go like 110%. Yeah, like, always ready. If you haven't watched, like they're immaculate, like their movement, their voices, everything. It's like they don't make mistakes. They are not human. Yeah, right. I don't know. It's amazing. And speaking of BTS, we're gonna further celebrate not just their new song, but they're also getting their own McDonald's celebrity signature meal coming May 26th. So you know how like Travis Scott, oh God, that person? Oh no. Okay. Had their like McDonald's celebrity signature. Yes. It was like a quarter pounder with a Sprite and fries or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. So BTS is getting one. I'm certainly going to get it because I'm a chicken nuggets fan. So you get 10-piece chicken nuggets with a medium Coke or Sprite. I want to say Coke. Okay. With medium fries. And what's kind of cool about this meal is that you get special sauces. So there's a sweet chili and a chipotle. Nice. And I'm feeling like it's going to be a Rick and Morty type of a deal here. Remember when the Szechuan sauce dropped? Yeah. And it was out everywhere and then people are upset. This is going to be the case with BTS meals. I already told Dustin yesterday, like we're not eating anything else on the 26th. We're eating chicken nuggets.
I appreciate your dedication to it. Absolutely. I watched the video this morning in preparation for the show a couple of times. Very catchy song. Absolutely. And great visuals. You get this, I love this shot. I saved this shot for the show. This was funny. And it's smart because it's kind of a way of getting new fans to know who they are. And last I checked before I started doing the show, and the number could be higher by now, they released the video 17 hours ago or 18 hours ago. It was at 97 million views already.
Really?
I was like blown away at the number of views that it already had in under 20 hours.
How many million did you say?
97 million I saw.
Oh wow! My YouTube isn't doing the thing.
It might be even higher now.
It's going like this, so I can't see it. Yeah.
Sorry, 94 million. Sorry about that. 94 million right now.
It's going to keep going up.
Yeah, and it's 94,900,000. So it's going to be 95 million in a matter of minutes of views. And I just added one and gave them one right now. So yeah, it's insane to see. And they've got 8 million likes on it, 13,000 dislikes, and over 4.5 million comments on the video. So, for those of us like me, Wendy, and I who make YouTube videos, 97 million Oh, 94 million would be.
You don't have to work for a month. Don't work
Yeah.
for a month.
That's right. That's what it feels.
Get a whole month off. I can't wait for them to do the live performance of Butter on whatever talk show. I feel like it's either going to go to Fallon or Corden. Probably Fallon.
Yeah, probably
I think Fallon's been typically the one that's been getting the BTS premieres.
Yeah.
I can't wait because sometimes you listen to a recording or a music video. Obviously, it's done in the studio, so there's like enhancements or whatever. And I'm not saying they auto-tune their voices. I know they can each and every single one of them rap and sing and dance simultaneously. They're all fantastic. But you sometimes want to watch because you want to, is there like a different variation? They literally sound like the CD.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how. A lot of K-pop bands have this ability. And I'm just like watching, I'm like, you're jumping up and down. Where is the breath? How are you so stable?
It's a good question. It's a damn good question for sure.
Yeah, I love them. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, absolutely happy for them. All right, let's move on to see. I don't have any more Streamlabs super chats. Thanks to Blade GTR, just subscribed as well as we were talking here.
Blade!
Let's move on to our coming soon. And we recommend as we wrap up the show here over the next 10 minutes. Coming soon, Wendy, what have we got coming out in movies, TVs, books, and games?
We have, let's see, Kim's Convenience, the final season. Cue sad tears. Last season coming soon to Netflix. I want to say it's like June 2nd or something like that. Cruella, Disney's Cruella live action coming next week. A Quiet Place 2 also debuting in theaters next week. And on Hulu, Marvel's MODOK. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's just like streaming wise. I don't think there's any new games that I can think of that was coming out, but that's already a lot. Like my plate is full, having to okay, I got to watch this and I got to watch that. Kim's Convenience, I'm probably just going to binge once it comes on. So it's a really easy show to watch because they're shorter sitcom size shows. So you're all of a sudden you're done with one season. You're like, already? Can I have more?
Yeah. Can I have more?
Please.
So yeah. These all the list here. Kim's Convenience, this is Quiet Place 2, MODOK. MODOK, I'm going to jump into at some point this weekend for sure. We spoke already about Cruella. We can't say too much because of the. I don't know. Sorry about that.
Come back, Rocha. Come back.
My camera must have gone down. It's happening. I updated the.
You need a new one?
No. I updated it last night, and ever since then, it's had issues running. So I don't know what the issue is, but I've got it squared away. Let me.
But hey, you sound great.
Switch. Thank you. Let me switch over to another camera. Sean doesn't want to know what this is like because they have multiple cameras. He just kind of. No. But yeah, so there I am. I'm not frozen anymore. So there it is. I just switched over to my C920.
Looks great.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. I mean, we can't say too much about Cruella because it's under embargo for us right now. But we can say on social media that we enjoyed it. I certainly did. As earlier in the show, she's obsessed. I'm looking forward to A Quiet Place Part 2. And I don't know. I didn't watch Kim's Convenience, so I don't know. But I know
you'll love
the
it.
Actor who is it was in Mandalorian this past season? Is that the same?
Oh
guy?
Yeah, Appa. Yeah, it's the same guy who was the fighter pilot. And also obviously Simu Liu.
Right.
Who is playing Shang-Chi. Exactly. So he's in it. But the show is really about the whole family. Korean immigrants. It's a Canadian show, so they film and the show exists in Canada, which is really cool. And each episode kind of touches on life experiences of whether it's mom, dad, daughter, or son, and they have a really interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
Because the daughter's much younger, she's in school, she wants to pursue art, but then you have the traditional Asian family, and you want to do this. They run a convenience store, which is why it's called Kim's Convenience. Hilarious. I couldn't tell you which character I love more because every time I pick one, I think if I really had to, if somebody was like, no, you have to pick a favorite, I would probably pick Appa because I think he's very daring. Reminds me a little bit of my grandfather.
Yeah.
So I love that. But I'm very excited for season 5. And I know the cast was kind of sudden, the announcement of okay, this is your final season. I know Simu Liu on social media kind of has voiced that he wasn't completely happy with the way that was handled. So not sure what's going on behind the door there. Yeah. But I had wished that they would have gotten at least another season. But I will also say, on the flip side of the coin, 5 seasons for a show, pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, listen, getting an Asian show to go past one season was an accomplishment not too long ago. So 5 seasons. You got to give a lot of love to Kim's Convenience and Fresh Off the Boat as well. So all of that there's fantastic stuff to see that the world of entertainment and the viewers are opening their eyes rather to enjoying entertainment that have Asian leads, Asian stories to tell, because they're universal stories, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what, we all suffer, we all fall in love, we all have heartbreak, we all don't get along with our family, or we all do get along with our family. We all try to figure things out with friends. It's all universal, and so telling stories a little bit of a glimpse into the culture of other people in your life, that's not a negative. So I think it's great to see that more people are embracing that overall for sure. And then let's move into our next section here. Coming soon. Oh no, sorry. We recommend. I've got 3 things that I'm watching right now. Bosch. I started Bosch about 3 days ago with my girlfriend, and we're already about to finish season 2. I absolutely love the hell out of it. A lot of people from The Wire, if you like The Wire, a lot of those actors are showing up in Bosch, and it's led by Titus Welliver, who I enjoy very much, and Jamie Hector, who plays Marlowe in The Wire. He is his partner, and throughout, there's a number of really cool actors and good storylines going through. I'm also in the Mayor of Easttown right now. There's 2 episodes left in the season. I'm going insane. I'm trying not to reach out to my HBO Max content to try to get those episodes. I'm trying to be patient, but I really, really want to get those episodes. And I already mentioned Cruella. So what are you watching, Randy? What are you recommending right now out there for people to enjoy this weekend?
Before we kind of hopped on the show, I'm about halfway through Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. Dude.
Yeah.
It's so, look, the hype was already there. People had told me like, oh my God, you're going to love it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We saw the 15 minutes. I already enjoyed it. I was like, okay, this sets the tone to what I think the movie is going to be. If they follow this through, the rest of the movie, we're going to be great. It's going to be a good time. And I had a hard time turning it off.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, I got to go, but just maybe a little bit. But Dustin's also not home, so I don't want to finish watching it without him because I think he'll really enjoy. So I say if you didn't get to catch this in theaters, or theaters aren't open near you, but you have Netflix, watch it right now. I actually made the mistake. I thought it was on HBO Max. So I was getting really mad this morning. I'm like, where is it? Why is it on HBO? And I was like, wait, I'm an idiot. It's on Netflix. Stupid. I think my brain went to, Zack Snyder, Justice League is on HBO Max. Therefore, all Zack Snyder content goes on HBO Max. That's not the case here.
Yeah. Also, we have so many streaming services, Wendy. It's tough to keep track of everything. So who can fault you? Who can fault you, for God's sake? But yeah, all great suggestions for sure. What about? And do you have the Famicom Detective Club? Did you speak about that already?
Oh, no, not yet. So that's a video game, because I feel like I've been spending a little bit of time on Twitch on the weekends, Thursday, Friday, Saturdays when I stream. So I've been playing a little bit of Paper Mario Origami King. Some of the viewers in the chat have been watching me there, and I appreciate them coming by and showing support. But this Famicom Detective Club is a Japanese game in the way of a visual novel. So there's no play, there's no boss battles or whatever. It's just kind of like Ace Attorney. You just go by scene by scene by scene, and you have these cues and buttons you can hit where you want to talk to the next person in how you want to progress the story, because you're playing the detective. So they released these 2 games simultaneously. One is called The Missing Heir, where you play the detective, but you have amnesia. So you're trying to solve this case while dealing with amnesia. The other one is like a high school, and I think a girl was either killed or there's a ghost of a high school student who haunts the school ground. That's another one that I haven't gotten into yet, but I bought both. And these 2 games came out in Japan in 1988, and now it's been remastered. They brought it back out. It's still all in Japanese with English subtitles. The graphic looks amazing. There it is. So on the left is the girl who stands behind. On the right is The Missing Heir, which is what I'm playing right now. And I actually had gotten stuck. I'm like, what am I doing? But I finally figured it out. Just have to press my my suspects a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Corner them so they tell me what they want.
to get the answers.
Literally, one of them was like, I have told you everything. Don't ask me anymore. I'm like, oh God, I'm terrible. I'm sorry.
I love that. There's Wendy's Twitch address there if you want to go and subscribe to her. She's going to talk me into doing it eventually. I know she.
You got to do it. Watch Party. He has Castlevania season 1. Let's go.
I'll just do that.
Watch Party.
Watch Party. Play FIFA on there, and people can watch me yell at the TV while I play FIFA the whole time.
Yes. Do it. Yeah. I'll watch it.
Okay. There you go. I love it. All right. And then one last thing, just put a little smile on your faces. I guess I'll share it here because I think this is really funny. You know, celebrities, they just want to be like you and me. That's all they want. They just want to be like you and me. They want to have a little fun in life, and they want to be able to go out and hang out. And one celebrity who's been doing this recently is Adam Sandler. He's been showing up at IHOPs. He's been getting shakes with people. I used to see him when I used to go eat at Patty's in Toluca Lake. He would definitely have pancakes and whatever, but apparently he wants to get out on the court and show people that this guy can ball. So let's take a look at Adam Sandler as a way to kind of end this show.
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Look at, got the beard, got the old man polo. He might even travel. People think he traveled a little bit. Oh man, didn't get an assist on that. What an air ball!
Yes, sir.
But watch his little Euro step there. Little handles on the Euro step.
A little travel, a little
travel, right? Yeah,
a little bit, tiny bit. It's okay.
I think he thinks he's James Harden or whatever. But yeah, a lot fun to see Adam Sandler having a little fun with people. But you got to play defense on the guy. I know he's worth $450 million, but you got to get out there and meet him at half court and guard him, for God's sake. You can't just let him float on down because you enjoyed him and Billy Madison. Come on, people, play defense.
That's just pickup games, right? He just like walks into a park and be like, "Hey, man, can I play?"
Yeah. Can I play in my coral polo shirt? Can I play in
super bright color with my sneakers and my mighty beard?
That's an old man thing, playing your polo shirt. Anyway, yeah, it really is. Yeah, it really is. I see dudes on the court all the time wearing them polos. I'm like, what are you doing here, Pally?
It just looks uncomfortable. Like
it
you can't move as well, and I'm like with the collar.
Yeah, plus it scratches your nipples. Who likes that? Anyway, let's get on out of here.
Undershirt.
Yeah, that's essential. Thank you all so much for joining us for this second episode of John and Wendy Explain the World. We're going to be doing this every Friday, 3 p.m. PT, live, having fun, talking about a variety of subjects, as you can tell, having a little fun here with you all to start your weekend off right. Wendy, thanks again for being a part of this journey. And please, where can they find all the stuff you do? And please promote away.
Everything and everything. Instagram, Twitter at my name, Wendy Lee Zaney. On YouTube, talking about movie reviews, TV show reviews, trailer reactions, and more at The Movie Couple YouTube channel. If you want to watch me play video games, right now playing Paper Mario and Famicom Detective Club, twitch.tv/Wendy Lee Zaney.
There you go. And as for me, you can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram, and subscribe to the channel down below. Thanks for the 3 of you that subscribed during the show. Much appreciated. We're getting close to 17,000 subscribers mark. Want to get to 20,000 by the end of July, so hoping we can make that happen. And some of the changes that I'm going to be doing here very soon on the channel will hopefully lead to more people subscribing, knowing that they got a certain kind of content from this channel. So we shall see as we go forward. So look for announcements about all of that, and possibly an even bigger announcement about some of my shows becoming podcasts and moving to another podcast feed. And we'll have an announcement of that if we can lock that deal down. We'll see. All right. Much love to everybody. Thanks to Sean Barreto, who sat in for us and helped produce the show. We love you all madly. Thanks for all the Streamlabs and super chats. And hey, have a good weekend this weekend and do whatever you got to do to find some peace, find some calm. Things are slowly getting back to normal. So, you know, you're also seeing more people out on the streets, more drama, more tension, more frustration. Don't forget to take those moments to kind of take care of yourself as well. It's super important. We love you. And we'll talk to you next time on another brand new episode of John and Wendy Explain the World. Take care until then. Peace.